Hello everyone, Shiveria Moonrunner here, and welcome to my New World Review video. We are going to go into the open beta, which was released on September 9th and went all the way up to September 12th. I'm going to mainly talk about the changes that I have observed myself personally, either by experiencing myself or even ones that I've seen other people do and heard comments on. So, without much being said, let's get started. And just for the record, I am a New World content creator, a part of the program. So, the first thing I kind of noticed was the camp. You can't respawn if you're over 500 meters away. It's either meters or miles. And something I've noticed about this, it's a cool change, but it just means you have to pop your camp more often. And honestly, I don't know how to exactly feel about that. It's going to be one of those changes where I've been testing it and it feels okay. It just seems like I'm using my camps more often than I'm used to. And that could just be something I have to get used to over time. The next thing I noticed is they actually added the levels onto the main map. So when you click on your map, you can actually see the level of the zones. Which this is kind of cool because it takes the guessing game out of. And I did notice when I was leaving the watchtower, there was actually a quest for a harvesting sickle. Which is kind of nice to get that very early on. I did also notice the shrines, but those were added during closed beta. The shrines, if you hadn't played the closed beta, they are respawn points, not respawn points, they are fast travel points, sorry, where you can go to them and you can fast travel. So it's similar to Guild Wars 2 waypoints, but they're not all over the place. There's normally one per zone. And most of them are strategically located. The one in First Light's a little odd to get to, but all the others seem fine to get to, and they're kind of in good parts of the zone. I kind of wish there were some more though, but I'm happy with it. So I noticed with the Hermit quest in this open beta, I didn't really play the stress test that much, that, well, the closed beta. I called it a stress test. That once you grabbed it, that shrine near the Hermit unlocks, which is really nice. Now, something I want to talk about that's not exactly a change, but something I noticed. There was a weird sound bug that happened in the game at various different points where it seemed like the audio muted somewhat, like the combat sounds be muted, but you'd hear the noise, you would hear the music, you would hear somewhat the creatures. It was really weird, but not really a big deal to me. I was still able to play. I felt fine. It worked for me. Some people did not feel that way, but it felt fine to me, but I kind of roll with the punches. I mean, with MMOs, they're generally buggy when we get closer to launch, so I'm not surprised this bug popped up when it hasn't popped up before. I remember it popping up a little bit in closed beta, but we'll just have to see how it goes at launch. Hopefully they can fix it. So, one change I did notice as well is there's more gathering and harvesting nodes. I noticed there seemed to be, I noticed a lot more iron out and about. There are more these elemental, I guess the elemental nodes. I also noticed there was more just of general resources, which is nice. It did speed up my crafting and gathering quite a bit. Now, this one I want to talk about, I did not experience myself, I had to talk to others, and it's the PvP scaling. The PvP scaling is where higher levels now have a priority over lower levels in PvP. So it used to be in the test up until this one where a level 60 could battle a level 20, but the level 20 had a chance to win if there's skill. They made it a little bit more where now the higher level has advantage of the lower level. And there have been both sides of the argument, so I'm going to present both sides here. And then I'm going to present my thoughts on it. Now again, this is completely my opinion. Most of this video is completely my opinion, so please bear that in mind. With that being said, there were two arguments. The first one was PvP scaling is something that's in every other MMO. Of course, higher levels will always have advantage over lower levels, but eventually those lower levels will get to higher levels. In World of Warcraft, there are PvP servers, and this happens quite a lot when people are level 1. There is a chance of getting ganked by player killers or PKs, and they could be level 60, they could be level 100, you know, regardless of that. But that's the risk you run, and that's their argument. And the other argument is that people are not going to flag in low-level PvP because there's a chance they could get player killed by a higher character, and it leads to not a fun experience. Also, people are concerned that as a result of this change, that Amazon is going to be more favored to player killers because that's more fun to them. With that being said, my thoughts on it is, in other MMOs with the PvP mode, when you're in PvP, like Cyrodiil for Elder Scrolls, or in Guild Wars 2, you can do World vs. World, WoW with PvP servers, there has always kind of been an advantage with players who are higher level, and I understand people are frustrated by that, and they feel like we can differ from the norm with New World. But at the same time, if a level 20 can kill a level 60, I can see both sides. I can see where that level 60 gets frustrated, because what's the point of leveling then, besides getting to the end game content? You know, what's the point of, you know, even leveling? Why don't I just stay level 20 and just kill people if I can kill 60s? We'll have to see how this plays out. Considering there was forced flagging in the original concept of New World, and then it was taken, and now we have where you can do it by choice, I really think it's just going to mean that lower levels are not going to flag, more than likely. What will probably happen now is that they'll wait to get to higher levels when they can stand on their own 2 feet and then flag. But we'll have to really see. We'll have to see how Amazon feels about that. But me personally, it doesn't bother me, but at the same time, I could see how it bothers others. Because that skill was always kind of the good part of New World, where if you had skill, you could beat a fight, and they feel like that skill is taken out. Again, I did not do any PvP during this open beta test. Reason being is I was doing more exploring, more PvE stuff this time, kind of testing the level experience and stuff like that, just to kind of see how it feels now. So I hadn't really done any PvP. The few people I talked to who have said they haven't really noticed level scaling. One of my friends who was level 9 and just joined their faction went up against a level 30, and he still came out on top. He had Sword and Board and Warhammer. He only had the knockdown Warhammer skill, so maybe that could have been it. There were some friends at level 20 who said they got pwned by level 12s. I'm still hearing kind of similar like that, but I haven't really extensively tested the PvP scaling, but I haven't heard anyone around me complain. Please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on the PvP scaling and what was your experience with it. I would really love to talk to you about your experience, because I would like some more info on this. Again, most of my friends who have been in the PvP world and played PvP games hadn't noticed an issue, but I would love to hear feedback from the community itself about this change. I did read some on the forums, but I just would love more direct feedback. So if you could just leave a comment down below with your thoughts, I would really love to be able to use that in another video. Gathering levels seem to be a lot faster this time, was a change I noticed, and that's a good change overall. I love gathering, I love crafting in New World. I don't like it in other MMOs. I've hated it in other MMOs, but New World, it just makes sense to do it. And I have absolutely had a fantastic time with it this test. I have literally gotten up to 50 on most of my gathering, and now I'm just working on crafting. It's just absolutely amazing. And a bug I had noticed is I flagged up in town by accident once, because sometimes I hit you, and I noticed one of the enemy team who was doing, it was an enemy faction, sorry, who was doing the fire staff AoE spam for giggles, actually damaged me. And that was a little bit odd, but I haven't been able to recreate that since. So I don't know if that was just a one-off bug or anything like that. It could have just been a one-off bug. Now, something I did want to kind of talk about is with the servers between East and West, because I did play on both. I played on the East Coast servers, and I played on West Coast to kind of see how they felt for me personally, and I did notice the West Coast was a lot smoother for me. On average, my ping on West Coast never really got above 75, whereas on the East Coast, it got about, what was the highest? 130. That doesn't really sound too bad, but this was a problem I was also having in Swords of Legend Online, which is why I'm not playing it right now, because it's gone completely a little unplayable for me, and unfortunately New World's starting to fall for that, but it's not bad. but it is making me kind of think if I'm going to go east or west. That wasn't a decision I thought I would have to make, but it's something I'm going to make over the next couple weeks. Now, at this time, New World's supposed to release on 9/28. We do not know if this test, as others before it, will cause a delay, but based on what I've seen in the open beta, based on what I'm hearing, I don't think a delay is going to be necessary. Reason being is, no MMO is going to really come out perfect, at launch, but the servers, for being an open beta, went smoothly. In my experience, I've heard there were some servers that had issues, so I'm not going to say, that was my experience, but my main experience was the servers ran fine. East did have a queue time. It took about 20 minutes. West Coast, I did not notice a queue time. It was pretty smooth. It wasn't locking up as badly as it was once upon a time. Overall, I am really looking forward to this game, and I just want to be able to launch so we can get my hands on it again, so everything counts and I have my permanent character. We have gone through the preview event, we've gone through the closed beta, we have now gone through the open beta, and I just want to be able to experience the game, and I just want to be able to make everything count and permanent and be able to play with my friends. New World has been one of the first MMOs I've been looking forward to in a very, very long time. We haven't really had many good MMOs come out. I played World of Warcraft when it first came out and loved it, and I played Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, and I've loved it. But the MMO market had gotten stale, and it's kind of gotten boring. And with New World, I love there's no dungeon finder across all the servers. I have to actually talk to people. I have to work with people. It's bringing the community back to me. Again, these are my opinions. So if you have different experience, again, leave your comments below respectfully. I love diverse opinions and would love to be able to chat with you guys, but New World overall is one of my favorite MMOs to date, and I really think this game for me is going to be my main MMO. I have played it in the preview, I have played it in the closed beta, and I have now played it in open beta, and this is going to be my home. And I really, really hope we get the launch on September 28th and we just go at it so we can be able to get our characters permanent and just play the world as it's meant to be played, and for me to get to endgame, because I never in any of the tests made it to 60, and that was on purpose because I wanted to be able to jump into the game when it launches and not be spoiled of any of the endgame content. And once I get to it, I'll let you guys know. Other content creators may get to it before me. I don't plan on rushing the endgame. I plan on just enjoying my time in New World. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more New World content, let me know. I plan on doing like a housing video on my server where I rate people's houses and kind of explore them, but that won't be until after launch, probably 2 to 3 months down the line. I'm also going to be doing a series of videos on my server of weekly territory updates and what happened in wars and kind of what's going on there as recap videos, so people who haven't played are aware of kind of what's going on with the territory wars. At this time, when I was playing the open beta, on the East Coast server I was playing on, Eden, there were several territories claimed by several different guilds. On the West Coast, only 3, and I played on the KS server. I forgot the full name, I apologize. I'll put it in the description below. But I do plan on streaming the game when it launches. I have to work, so depending on what time it launches, I'll try to stream a little bit before work. But otherwise, I'll be streaming afterwards, and every time I play New World, I'm going to go live. It could be I'm gathering, it could be I'm crafting, it could be I'm just hanging out in the town square. Anytime I play New World, it's going to be live. This game I absolutely love and cannot wait to be able to enjoy it and not have to worry about it, going down for more testing or going down and delaying, and it'll finally be launched. And I hope to see you guys in a tournament launch, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye now!